alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to another video on basic fiqh presentation. So in this video, we'll be talking about Zakat al-fitr. Zakat al-fitr. So we've finished the discussion on Zakat al-mal, and we mentioned we explained different categories under it, like the case of money or valuables from the soil and the likes. So this time around, we'll be talking about Zakat al-fitr. And this Zakat al-fitr is the zakat that is given, at the end of Ramadan. So before it is given before it. So we talk about the time as well, when the actual time that it is given. So Zakatul Fitr, what is the basic ruling, and what are the conditions? The basic ruling is that it's compulsory. It is compulsory. It's compulsory. The conditions are Islam. Number one, Islam, that is, a person has to be a Muslim, and also possession of more than the daily meal or needs for self and family on the day of Eid. So if a person fulfills these two positions, he has more than his daily meal, that is what he needs daily. He has more than that. He has, he also has his basic, basic requirements for the day. Then he has more than that. If he has more than that, then he is qualified to give zakatul fitr. So at what time do you give zakatul fitr? So zakatul fitr is given there are three times, like you can see in this slide. So there are three different times. So we have the permissible time, the time it becomes compulsory, and the most preferred time. So the permissible time is a day or two before Eid, a day or two before Eid, a day or two before Eid. So it is permissible to give, zakah a day or two before Eid. And also the time it becomes compulsory. So because a day or two before it has not become compulsory on the person yet, so the time it becomes compulsory, the sun sets on the day of Eid, that is the night. The night comes before the day. So the sun sets before, the day of Eid, the day you observe Eid. So because night comes before the day, so that is when the sun sets the previous day. So it's called so we have gotten on the sunset in a day, we have gotten to the following day. So the sunset for Eid, so the sunset on the night before the day, the sunset before the day of Eid. So that's when it becomes compulsory. And the most preferred time is between dawn and almost time for it, between dawn and almost time for it. So that is the most preferred time to give this zakat, so that people would have something. They will go to the Eid happy. They will go to the Eid with happiness. So that is the most preferred time. So we should also know that the foods considered for zakat al-fitr will be mentioned in the next slide. So there are certain foods that are considered for zakat al-fitr. So we'll talk about that in the coming slide. So unlike zakat al-mal, we have money under zakat al-mal, and we give 2.5% as due rate. So in this case, it is different. It's different. So the foods considered are wheat, raisins, dry cottage cheese, corn, rice, barley, and similar foods. So there are differences of opinion regarding, you're using similar foods, and some even say a person might even pay the money instead of giving the food that people actually need money more. But going with the fact that zakatul fitr is limited to using food. So because that is the way it came, that is what the sunnah initially dictates. So the due amount is 1 sa, and 1 sa, which is equivalent to 3 liters, is equivalent to 3. So I put the measurement that will understand there. So it's equivalent to 3 liters. So once a person is qualified to give this zakah with the conditions we have listed, so he gives 1 sa for each person, he himself and the people that he caters for. So he gives 1 sa, and that is about 3 liters. I have to understand that. So that is that about so if he's able to afford that, in addition to what he needs, what is food, and what he needs basically, his basic needs. In addition to that, if he possesses anything more, so he gives zakah. So you can see Islam encourages charity a lot. So we pray to Allah to make it easy for every one of us. So this is where we'll stop in this video, very short video. So we'll continue in the coming videos.